Hey folks, Joker here again. God. This is one thing after another today. I tried to go live with the vlog, and suddenly my bandwidth was in and out and in and out. It's weird. I just uploaded a 100 megabyte file to Dropbox, and it said it was going to be 4 hours, and then it uploaded in 1 minute. And I don't know what's going on today. But anyway, Inside Jokers, like I might have, I don't know if it went through on the stream or not, but I am very sick today. I'm sitting here in bed recording this, and you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I promised I was going to do vlogs every Friday and answer all of your questions, and that is what's happening. And on top of that, I definitely want to give you an inside track on what's going on with the channel, because there's lots, actually. Things are heating up with Rogue, especially. Now, I've got a bunch of people out there trying to do voice acting for me for this next episode. And they're all really busy. Poor Colin is sick. Like, he's got migraines and he's throwing up, poor guy. So, I mean, everybody's sort of... I don't know if we can pull this together, because I really want to actually use their talents and highlight them and showcase them. So we'll see. But I mean, they're an integral part of the story, these guys. They have to happen. So if I can get their voices by Monday, I might be able to make everything work perfectly. If I don't, then I'll have to hack it. But I'm committed to my schedule. I mean, I'm here on Friday, sick as a dog, and still doing the vlog, and that's not changing. So, we're... so that's what's hopefully going to happen. Oh, gosh. Sorry, I'm going to try and focus here. Oh, my God. What's supposed to happen in the next episode is things are going to change with Keith the Death Mage. And I'll get more into that when I do the Q&A. But suffice it to say, things are not going to be the same. We're not going to just keep doing an episodic Keith sends us off on a little mission thing. So that takes a turn next time. And you know what? I don't know what else to tell you, but there's a couple other things I wanted to go over about what's going on with the channel. I had intended on Saturday morning to release the first episode of a thing called Rogue Approved. And Rogue Approved would be a show about different YouTube channels and just talking about how awesome they are. It's like a non-monetized showcase of how awesome somebody is on YouTube. And I've been working with someone on doing one, but he's been a little hard to wrangle. So I don't exactly know if I'm just going to go ahead and publish as is, or if I'm going to redo the voices and have it hosted by Rogue and Zartok. I might do that, but the intention right now is to have it hosted by Rogue and another person who I will leave unnamed right now. So we'll see what happens when I wake up in the morning. But it's mostly cut together now. I just need to piece together the last little bits of it, and then it's up it goes. So expect that Saturday morning. And that's something I want to do weekly. So if you know of any amazing channels that should be featured, let me know. I need to get approval from the people I want to make these videos about, though, because I feature their content in the video. And, I don't want to do that without permission, even though, strictly speaking, it is for commentary, so I can do whatever I want. But whatever. I want to hear from them before I go ahead and just start putting their stuff on my channel, because strictly speaking, that's what's happening here. Even though it is just a promotion. Basically, I'm just making a commercial for them. But the format, the idea is that I want to make these less than 5 minutes long each. So you can just queue them up, play them back to back, no ads. And so if you're bored one day and you can't figure out what to watch, you've got this handy playlist of channel recommendations with clips, so you can see what you're getting yourself into. You don't have to just hunt and hunt. So it's that's the kind of service I'm trying to provide here with it. and hopefully it happens. We'll see. What else can I tell you, man? Look, I got a new copy of Vegas. It's no longer Sony Vegas as of number 14. I got a new one because there were all sorts of things I couldn't do before. And it's all cool looking and black. And when I first installed it, it killed the aux port on my computer. It took me a day to get that fixed. But anyway, I'm going to do the next rogue in this beast. And hopefully it's similar enough that I kind of can fake knowing what I'm doing. But there's all sorts of things I like about it already. Just the fact that I can do channel-based effects as opposed to clip-based effects and little things like that. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I'm going to be able to pull this off. Let's get into the Q&A. So where was that? There we go. So Q&A. And by the way, you notice the lovely new thing from Windows 10 after it just updated last night with a bunch of software nobody wants. Well, now we have the lovely new photo display thing. So Cha-Ching Boy wanted to know about offending people. So I have 3 principles on this channel, and they are not, I can't compromise them no matter what. And I have them on a post-it, and they say, celebrate gaming, remember to laugh or laugh more, and always be kind. So I need to make jokes that don't hurt people. I need to make jokes that don't pick on people. To laugh with people instead of make fun of them, And that's not always easy, but Cha-Ching Boy is more interested in this notion of people getting offended. Because these days you can't go 2 seconds without somebody being offended. And my philosophy on that is, if you're offended, screw you. I pour everything I've got into being kind. And if you decide that my intentions are irrelevant and that you're going to just take whatever happened and decide you're upset, that was your decision. I'm not responsible for it. I hereby absolve myself of all of your neurosis. Because I got to live my life. I got to be a person. I mean, yes, I absolutely live to serve, but there's a line, man. I mean, if you're nuts, that's you being nuts. It's not me. So, everything I do is as kind as possible, but that's the line. And I've had people get offended by stuff I've done before, and I check myself in those moments, and I say, well, is that something that I should have known wasn't very nice? And if the answer is no, then screw them. So there it is. All right, Crystal Abyss. This is something that somebody left on Reddit, and I caught it, luckily. A few questions for the next vlog. What age were you when you first played your first RPG, and which was the first one that got you properly into it? So I don't really remember. I know I was a kid, and I played a text-based RPG. It was popular at the time. I honestly don't remember. It was like you were in a room, and you have to just, type in commands and try to figure out what sticks. And it eventually comes out that the lights are off, and you got to find a light switch and turn them on, and then make your way out of the room. It was totally weird and otherworldly and arbitrary, and the first adventure game I'd ever played. The first, it was text based on a computer, but it was amazing to me at the time. But the first graphical one I ever played was Bard's Tale, the original Bard's Tale. And I was so blown away by the fact that you could walk down streets and fight monsters. And oh my god, it's the most amazing thing in the world. I never did finish that game. I have no idea what it would take to get to the end of that game, but it was pretty amazing for the time. And you know what? I'm gonna look up videos now and see how Bard's Tale ends. Kind of get the nostalgia groove going. And then in your next stream or whenever, could you spawn 100 cheese wheels if Fooster without them off the cliff for me? Thanks. Next time I stream, it's going to happen. I'm going to make a note to myself, make sure it happens, because good time's a good time. Nick Lith. You know what? This is the second one. Here, let's start with the first one, because I don't know why it ends up displaying out of order. So, let's see. Big fan of the anonymous voice actor that I have on, who has done voices for the clothing shopkeeper, and she did the voice for Whisper. She's pretty awesome, so always show her lots of love, because it takes some convincing to get her to do this. But all right, what's Keith's opinion on the Thalmor? Keith doesn't particularly care for their agenda, has absolutely no interest in the Dominion, has no interest in politics or religion. He's interested in them as a power, as a military power, but that interest doesn't mean support. And if all goes well, in the next episode of Rogue, you'll see this explicitly spelled out. Did Whisper immigrate from the eruption of the Red Mountain, or was she always in Skyrim? Yeah, she's a Dunmer, but she just travels. You know, I actually kind of have it in her backstory, not that this will ever come up. It might. But anyway, that she spent most of her life in somewhere other than the Red Mountain region and other than Skyrim. Well, she travels a lot. She's the road is her home right now. She's a very vagabondy kind of person. Sorry, guys. I just gotta take a swig of beer because, you know, what else are you supposed to do when you're sick? What gave you the idea to start a playthrough as an orc? I mean, I just wanted to, as clearly as possible, illustrate through the storytelling, this is what it's like to play someone who just wants to kill and get treasure, just wants to play a goddamn game, and contrast that as strongly as possible with what Dawnguard has us do. Because the whole thing was about Dawnguard at the time. And so to contrast that as strongly as possible with what Dawnguard has us do, which is suddenly arbitrarily decide we're not going to kill vampires anymore. This one with the Elder Scroll, we're not going to kill. Why? I don't know. And then the craziness with the Thieves Guild was really appropriate. And the fact that, you know, you could, like, how wacky is it that you don't have to do magic and become a archmage? So the orc thing was, I thought, the easiest way to illustrate that because of people's preconceptions of orcs. So it was entirely utilitarian. Imperial Stormcloak, Thalmor, or wait and breeze home for it all to blow over like a tornado. If I was in Skyrim, who would I join? Well, I wouldn't join anybody, I'll tell you that much. I think the Civil War is nonsense, and I think they're all wrong. So, but having said that, I mean, no, I'd go adventure. You know, I'd be like Rogue. Well, maybe slightly less killing of innocent people, but only slightly. Okay, so do you put much credence into the idea that if Ulfric were to win the war, more provinces would begin to secede? That only makes sense. I mean, they just finished a major war. All nations are kind of licking their wounds. Everything, the peace is very tenuous. If Skyrim were to secede, it only makes sense that others would secede as well. But again, you know, we'll never know, right? I mean, who knows? Maybe in Elder Scrolls, the next Elder Scrolls game. If I was to make a spin-off and not a Keith one, like I've already talked about, who would it follow? The Eternal Sweeping Woman. You know what? It just depends on what story I want to tell. The Rogue stories are about gaming from the perspective of someone who just has very simple priorities and doesn't like to be screwed with. If there's a different type of story I want to tell, then I'll create a character at that time to tell that story. But I'm finding that every character I create now just serves to tell the Rogue story until I have another reason to write. And then I'll make a new character, or I'll just jury rig one at the time. But I don't have another story I want to tell yet. I've been thinking about more horror-based fiction, but that's not where I want to take the channel necessarily. Having said that, every Monday I'm reading fan fiction, and some of it gets a little creepy. So stay tuned in every Monday. Will you ever expand an NPC to become a major part of the story, the same way you have done with Rogie? Yeah, I'm already doing that. Although, now that I think about it, the one character I have started to expand, you guys haven't seen much of. Next episode, keep your eyes open. It's you won't be able to miss it. With Helgen finally having some of Skyrim's own Harrenhal, does that mean the Civil War aspect is about to pick up in Rogue? Trying to great albums. What? Go away, Windows. You're stupid. Right. So, Civil War aspect in Rogue series. No. I'm going to try very, very carefully to avoid making the Civil War change in any way in the Rogue series, because that'll detract from our main story arc. Next story arc, who knows? I don't know. But this one right now, no. Will there be a scene in Sovngarde Soulcairn where Rogue finally has to face all the Nord enemies killed over the series? I don't know, man. we'll do it when we get there. And then he also asked, what was your view on the death of King Torrig? Right. Vicious murder or honorable duel? If you remember, King Torrig is the guy that Ulfric killed in the first place. Everybody was like, that's our Nord tradition. You attack the king and kill him, and you're the king. And everybody else was like, yeah, but that's stupid, and we had peace, and you just destroyed it for no good reason, you selfish jerk. So that's the fight. That's the Civil War. What's my take on whether it was vicious murder or an honorable duel? That's up to the guys who did it. I don't get a say. So Ulfric probably thinks it was honorable, so good for him. And who's the other person? I guess that would be King Torrig. If he thought it was an honorable duel, then it was. I don't get to decide for other people what's honorable and what's not. If King Torrig was just sitting there and then Ulfric stormed in and Fus Rodad him to death out of the blue, then that was stupid murder. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. But anyway, no, I don't know. We don't have any more details on exactly how that went down, and I'd really like to know. But I think whatever two consensual adults decide to do on their own is entirely their business, if you know what I mean. The Realm of Samsara says, in the past, you asked about my favorite incarnation of the Joker. I mentioned this one novel's portrayal. What sort of voice do you hear in your head when you're reading Joker's lines in that novel? And could you maybe speak a few lines with that voice during the vlog? I kind of end up somewhere between Mark Hamill's voice, who did most of the animated stuff and did a bunch of the video games, and a little bit of Heath Ledger's. So, well, no, not Heath Ledger. When Batman came out, the original, not the original movie, the Tim Burton movie came out with Jack Nicholson, I thought he was an amazing take on the Joker. This sort of grumbling, angry Joker, this wait till they get a load of me, sort of this predator behind that voice. And I think that was what Mark Hamill was always missing. Mark Hamill was always la 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 la, and I don't think he was. And whenever he went for the jugular, it was still a little still a little like gestury. I don't know, like a little too much. I didn't feel the menace. So finding somewhere in between that, and I wouldn't presume to try and get them right. It's it's a task that's far beyond me. Maybe someday we'll make our own version of the Joker, and put it in the series. But right now, as long as I'm using the name, I want to go for a kinder, gentler Joker. Yunachu left a bunch of questions, because Yunachu is amazing. Would Rogue join the Stormcloaks or the Imperials? Neither. Joining is for suckers. What would be a quest you'd never do with Rogue? Well, all of the Civil War stuff, 90% of the Dragonborn stuff, and like especially as soon as he had to go and get a horn for Jurgendy Burgundy, and then he went back and so I was like, yeah, here's the horn. He would stop talking to her. Like that would be the end of it. So, there's all sorts of things that don't make sense for Rogue on that quest line. And it feels like there's more that I should talk about that he wouldn't do. I think a lot of, that whole, the Alakir, they're looking for a woman in Windhelm. Was it Whiterun? Whiterun, sorry. And he has zero interest in their little manhunt or woman hunt, whatever. Not something I'm ever going to do with Rogue. It's so out of his area of interest. I wonder if she could charm him. I think she might. Well, I don't know. See, Rogue's an interesting guy when it comes to that, because I've had him totally get swept up in people's attractiveness before, which is something I got to do again. But at the same time, it never changes his actual outward behavior, apart from just bad flirting. So, I don't know. Let's see. Why do you like jumping off cliffs so much? Because it's so satisfying. So satisfying. I don't know. Just jumping off cliffs and falling for a while. And then if you hit real good, you get to bounce down the cliff. That's the best. I don't know. I skipped. What's your favorite playstyle in Skyrim, and why is it the Sneak Archer? I do love the Sneak Archer. I have spent a lot of time as a Sneak Archer. I've tried to do more mage stuff, but I have a hard time getting anywhere with a mage. I always find that I end up dying a lot in the early stages as a mage, and then they're overpowered. So I don't know. But I think, let's see, what's my favorite playstyle? Sneak Archer is really up there. I love being able to pickpocket. I don't know why it's too fun for me. So yeah, I do love that end of things. I actually, you know what, the pickpocket stuff is a lot of fun. I love sneaking poison into people's pockets in the game. I think that's a great feature. Is Rogue ever going to get a dog? No, didn't I address this last week? I could have sworn I did. No, I mean he's too afraid of the dog getting hurt, so he won't do that. Which do you prefer, Zartok or Rogue? Oh, that's like asking me to choose between two of my kids. I'm not doing that. Why does your Skyrim bug out so much? Too many mods. And I'm playing on a laptop, which is just like maybe not the best, even if it is a Republic of Gamers thing. What is your favorite shout? I mean, Fusfordau was a genius, although it was underpowered, and I felt really good about it when I installed a mod to overpower it. But what is my favorite shout? Oh. Well, actually, no. I do love being able to call a dragon, man. That is a good time. And I forgot all about it until the Zartok playthrough with you guys. So that was a good time, too. And why does everyone want to play Dress Up with Rogue? Yes, why does everyone want to play Dress Up with Rogue? I think the reason I do that in the series so often is because everyone does. If you go through a typical Skyrim playthrough, everyone wants to play dress up with you. Everyone's giving you a piece of clothing that they think you should wear, and or armor or whatever. And it never ends. You're never there. You're never properly attired. Some people look at the stats charts, figure out what armor is the strongest, and wear that. But again, I think even that's try hard. I like this conflict that Rogue's constantly going through, where he's found something that he just thinks is dead sexy, and everybody's trying to pull him away from it all the time. It's a great tool for the series. Alright, that's all. That is it. I'm still sick. Yeah. I'm gonna go lay down. I'm still in bed recording this. Oh my god. Hopefully I am all better tomorrow and I get a ton of work done on the next Rogue episode. And hopefully you get to see that cool new show. Playlist of the week. Playlist of the week is something amazing. I can't remember what it's going to be, and I don't want to look it up right now. I'm too tired. I'll, I'll put it up tonight. Just go to the Oh I Get Jokes channel, scroll down, it'll be there. Folks, that's it. That's it. I'm going to sleep. But I did not miss a vlog. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment on any one of my videos. It can be a question about me, about you, about life, the universe, anything. And we will tackle it in the next Friday vlog. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.